Hey, it's Maya, Shimmering Willow here, and I am here to bring through messages of the highest white light to my beautiful spicy collective. I am very excited to be sharing my personal journey with you, as well as poetry and beautiful pullings of oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. And yeah, I'm very excited to be in this collective with you, anchoring in these new air frequencies and just being of the light. You know, it is time, really is time for us to actually take off our masks and start like sharing our gifts and the knowledge that we've received from whatever beautiful light sources and beings that you've been working with over the years. It is time. And we are safe now. Like, it's felt very unsafe for many years for us to just be real, you know, and authentic in our expression, and yeah, and I guess why we chose to come here and that contract we signed with Source. So yeah, we've been in this wild cycle and we're finally out the other end of it. And yeah, there's a huge balancing going on in the world right now. I know you feel it in your soul because we are intuitive empaths and we feel everything so intensely. And I am here to validate that for you and just say that you are an absolute magical being and never deny that. And just trust your body, trust your soul, and trust just your entire being as a whole. You know, your intuition is on point, okay? Never deny that. And once you start to follow your intuition, that's when life gets truly magical. So I'm going to start by pulling one of these cards, and then I'm going to read a poem for you that I hope will resonate. I've been on quite a big journey to be honest, my whole life with understanding, you know, my place in this world, and also with just trauma and mental health diagnosis that I've collected a whole goodie bag of mental health diagnosis over my lifetime. And yeah, just this past year I've kind of released and let go of them and stepped into my true powers and as a clairvoyant psychic. And I'm not afraid of the darkness anymore. You know, I was always afraid because of my religious upbringing that, you know, contacting and making that contact with the spirit realm was somewhat evil, or, you know, but it's like, mate, anyway, we won't go into that because it brings up some stuff. And we want to keep this energy beautiful and bright and of the highest white light. So we got some Palo Santo here. We're just gonna banish any dark energies, entities, vibrations, incarnate, discarnate, to be gone from this space. It is so and will continue to be so, I hope. I invoke the full and complete luminosity of my West Adult Spirit Shield. Be here with me now. Archangels, Pleiadians of the highest white light, Star Nation beings, please be with me now and help me to channel messages for the highest good of all. Aha. Let's go. All right, so what does my spicy collective need to hear today for their highest good? Wow. I actually pulled these cards this morning with my friend Tommy. Shout out to Tommy. And we pulled these cards, the Great Mother card, twice this morning, and now it's come out a third time. So there's a real big message coming through here about surrendering to mystery and falling into the Great Mother's arms. Great Mother could be Grandmother Earth, you know, the beautiful nurturing energies of the mother, the Great Mother, who we've actually, you know, kind of forgotten as that beautiful, stable, safe space of just, you know, pure devotion and love. So I feel I might read that out of Rebecca Campbell's book later, but that's the message that is coming through right now, just to surrender, you know, really truly surrender to love that is all around us, and yeah, just the nurturing that comes from friends, from animals, from plants, from anything that we see that is available to us that we tend to ignore. So yeah, that's what I feel the message is there today. And my poem is yeah, I channeled this poetry when I've just been on a huge journey, like I said, with my mental health stuff, and I decided to wean off a lot of my medications because I felt going into a spiritual path, I started to feel a sense of safety in all of the sensations and the feelings and the spirit realms and all these energies that I was seeing and feeling and being so able to make close contact with. I let go of the fear, and I learned to actually set boundaries with the spirit realm. And so in doing that, I actually was like, right, I'm not actually afraid anymore. Like I'm more powerful than any of that, right? And I actually am such a light being that I don't, all these dark entities or energies that are coming at me, like I can literally, I'm so much more powerful than them. I can be like, goodbye, good riddance, I banish you. And since I was able to do that and banish them and speak to them in a commanding voice, that is it, they were gone out of my life. And it's been such a game changer to be able to speak to these energies with authority and with, you know, standing in my sovereign powers. And yeah, it's been quite a journey, quite an incredible journey. And then I've been able to call upon all these beautiful beings to come in and just protect me and surround me with the highest white light. And that is exactly what has happened this past year. And in that I've been able to wean off medications which I was taking to knock me out to get to sleep, so I could just turn off, you know. And these things weren't you know, waking me up at 3 a.m. every night. And then I was taking medications to get me up, and with the ADHD diagnosis I was taking Vyvanse, quite a high dose of that, and I've managed to wean off all of my medications now. And for that, and for the spiritual path I am on, I am very grateful. And I've stepped into my true essence and my true gifts, my spiritual gifts as a clairvoyant. And it's been wild. It's been so beautiful connecting with the spirit realm in such a safe way, and being given a spiritual practice through a community that I know here, to be able to actually like feel safe and somewhat normal in what I was experiencing. It's been quite profound. So yeah, I know a lot of you guys in this collective that I'm a part of have been probably unlearning a lot of the same kind of Western medical ways of treating, I guess, psychic abilities. And it's an emotional journey, because yeah, you do feel like you've been, you know, quite wronged and misunderstood, and yeah, just never had that space to explore your gifts in a way. But it's, you know, once you realize you are the adult and you can actually give that to yourself, that's when you get that empowerment, and you can step into your sovereignty and just hold your child with so much beautiful love and so much grace, and hold your teenager with so much grace, and hold your, you know, the adult in her 20s that was still trying to figure it all out, or his 20s. So it's just such a beautiful journey that you go on. And yeah, I mean, it's the medications, it's a real important thing if it's, you know, critical. And you know, for me, there was many times when medication was very critical and I really needed it. And you know, if I don't sleep, if I've become sleep deprived, then there's a risk of me having psychosis. And you know, when I get psychosis, I've had it once in my life and it was completely disabling. I had it when I was 18, and it you know, I had to rebuild and start my life afresh. You know, all my friends went off to university and I was kind of starting from scratch. It was a really, really difficult place to rebuild from. So yeah, so of course, like, just use discernment with when you are coming off or making a plan to come off medications. I had so much support around me. Like, I was so blessed. I've been so blessed, honestly. And to even find a spiritual path through my psychiatrist. My psychiatrist at the hospital was the person that said to me, there is a place for people like you. And this long term, taking medications, you know, yeah. So just know, like, even there's angels in the Western world of medicine. She, for me, was like an absolute godsend, because I don't know if I could have sustained my life being on medications for the rest of my life, you know. And to find a path, a spiritual path, to actually explore these gifts and not see it as a problem and not be afraid of it, it's been emotional. So I'm just going to share a poem that I wrote, which kind of like encapsulates my journey into this life of being a medicine woman, you know. Shimmering Willow is my medicine name, and it's just, yeah, it's been beautiful to really step into my power and see, rather than, you know, see what I was feeling as a mental illness, I now see it as such a strength. And I've been given such a beautiful space, again, like I said, to just use my gifts, you know. So here we go. It's called the Pharmaceutical Bender. And like I said, use discernment when you're coming off medications. I titrated off them very slowly. It took a whole year, and I'm finally off of them. But yeah, it's a journey. Don't ever just stop. Don't cold turkey, because that is not going to be good for anybody. So I admit it, I was gaslit. It's not been easy for me to feel this sense of disempowerment all over again. All these years trying to understand why I felt so disconnected from the world we live in. It's not normal to expect a creative intuitive to function within the constraints of a box. Pandora's box, a concept I know too well. You shove a child's mind into a small space, they will re-emerge without fear or grace. Cable will never honor the most clairvoyant among us. Instead, they try to chain what they cannot tame. I do admit I must have needed it. Not for my well-being, but in order to survive the Matrix. Highly functional, but it still felt delusional. Their way never felt like stability to me. My soul was wild and my heart so free. I worked hard only to find it robbed me of creative pleasures. There was barely enough to collect life's basic treasures. So I took a step back. I felt all I could feel. What if those worlds I escaped to were real? They were designed so intricately just for me. A place I felt safe, a place I felt free. I called back my power when I climbed out their tower. I was never crazy, I was connected. The earth weeps for this long-lost magic of ancient teachings and a grounding practice. Deep sorrows echo within her cries when she prays to her family in the sky. So that is the Pharmaceutical Bender. And yeah, I hope that resonates with a few people. I don't know if anybody else has been on their journey of weaning off medications. It's not easy. It's very isolating. You feel so lonely, and yeah, but in that loneliness and in that kind of solitude is where you really can actually like tap into those gifts that you have and use them. And yeah, just know that like there's many of us that have been on this journey, and there's many of us that are waking up right now. I'm seeing it all around me. I'm connecting with many people on social platforms that have been through a similar thing, and it's like time, you know, it's time we're all like stepping into our power and stepping into our spiritual gifts, and you know, doing that with discernment and with who we talk to, and yeah, being able to actually like block out those negative Nancy dark energies, you know, that come from just actually being real and authentic and open about our journey. And yeah, because there's a lot of judgment, you know, that comes from being in this space. You know, we've got the witch wound that we need to heal from. You know, I've got many past life regressions of being a medicine woman, of being a shaman, of being a witch. And you know, many of those involve me being absolutely persecuted, and it makes you want to hide. You know, it makes you want to actually not be seen and not yeah, it's a very vulnerable gift that we have. It's a very vulnerable space to sit in these gifts that we have. But surround yourself with people who get it. Surround yourself with people who can also tap into those realms, because that'll be the best thing for you while you're actually building that sense of safety. And yeah, of course, like I said, plan with your medical practitioners. I see a somatic therapist, I see a hypnotherapist, and I also see my psychiatrist still regularly, just, you know, so she can kind of check in that things are going okay, like my spicy brain is safe, and I'm not afraid, I'm sleeping, you know. So I do check in regularly with my health professionals, just because, you know, I don't have that safety net around me with family to ensure that you know, things are kind of going smoothly with this transition into yeah, medication-free life, a spiritual life, you know, a spiritual path. And this is the path I've chose, the shaman's path, and it's been amazing so far, and I'm so excited to continue sharing all of these, you know, all of these gifts and the tools and the knowledge that I've gathered over the years, that I've hid and I've not hoarded, I've just been afraid to share. So yeah, I'm excited to have this space, and I'm excited to hear your stories on this channel, and I'm excited to connect with people that are similar to me and who have had similar experiences. I think it's going to be a beautiful year for all of us, wherever we're at in our journey. And yeah, let's see, magic is about to happen. Lots of love. Mwah.